printed on medicines and some medical equipment such as replacement hips and surgical tools. It's all an effort to reduce the rate of avoidable deaths in English hospitals.
Ministers say the scheme, which is being piloted in 6 areas, could also save the NHS up to £1 billion over 7 years, as our health correspondent Robert Piggott reports.
An angiogram designed to reveal the condition of patients' blood vessels is carried out in Salisbury. As part of the piloting of the Scan4Safety scheme, barcodes on medication and equipment record the materials being used to treat patients, the time and place of the procedure, and the name of the medical staff taking part.
We could trace that patient very quickly. We scan all the equipment, so there should be no drug errors. Some drugs look very similar, and it's to the correct patient, so we scan the patient, making sure that the right drug or the right blood product, etc., goes to the right patient. And if they're going to roll it out to orthopedics and other type of equipment, we can then trace those back in the future, again, to those patients.
Barcoding will reduce the average of an hour a day nurses spend collecting medicines and alert staff to those nearing their use-by dates. Everything from screws used in knee operations to breast implants will be barcoded so their quality can be monitored.
About once a week, tragically, someone dies in the NHS because they're given the wrong medicine. We also have a number of operations where the wrong implant is put into someone's body and that then has to be changed at a later date. And if we use modern barcode technology, we can deal with a lot of these problems.
One of the biggest advantages of Scan4Safety could be in tracing patients when faulty products have to be recalled. Nearly 50,000 British women had the breast implants made by the French company PIP when they were revealed to be at risk of rupturing. But patchy record keeping made it difficult to trace the patients. Robert Piggott, BBC News.
Let's pick up on some of those thoughts there. Joined by Chris Slater, he's in charge of procurement at Leeds Teaching Hospital NHS Trust, one of 6 places piloting the scheme. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
What an interesting idea. Now, listening to what was said in the piece there, one of the medical staff said some drugs look very similar. Barcodes will help to ensure that the right drugs go to the right people.
Correct. There's
a bit of me that's thinking, we're reliant on technology rather than the expertise of medical staff.
Understand that. It's really a check and balance, so we're able to record not only what the staff are seeing, we're able to put into the patient records the actual information from the product, so that we've got a record all the way through the patient journey. So it covers, obviously, medicines, but it's also devices as well. So if there's a recall on devices, we've recorded the information into the patient notes, we've got the lot, the serial number and expiry date, and we're able to track and trace products to patient level.
Now I'm just holding up what looks like a little piece of card that's got a very important barcode. I'm holding it the wrong way.
You are indeed.
Yeah. I'm going to do that now. Good job I'm not putting this in, because this is for a mid-face 1.5mm screw.
Correct. So we'd use that in trauma, where there's, in terms of knitting bones together with plates, etc. So what we've been trying to do is get, effectively, retail technology onto products so that we're able to track and trace those products, as I say, right the way through from receipt in the hospital, right the way to implanting those into the patient. Now,
and don't we do that already?
We don't, unfortunately. You'd think we do. Yeah. One of the issues has been the standards, or the lack of standards, around products. So the NHS is now deploying GS1 standards to all its products and asking all our suppliers to apply a GS1 standard barcode. Up to now, manufacturers have applied whatever barcodes they want, so we've not been able to track products through the supply chain.
Trace it through for me. So the product you were talking about there is what? What was it?
That's a screw that's used in an operation.
Okay, but just help me with the cost saving here, because you're not going to use any less screws.
We're not.
So knowing where they're going doesn't make any difference to how much money is being spent, does it?
What it does do, it allows us to track wastage through the system. It allows us to track variation through the system. So different clinicians will use different products, will use different volumes. What we're able to do by tracking the product, the patient, identifying the clinician at the point of use, we can then look at clinical variation and ensure that we're using standard processes throughout the whole of healthcare. From a supply chain point of view, what we're also doing is ensuring that products, we've got the right amount of products on the shelf. We've not got excess stock in the system. Also, if I take the device we're talking about here, which is in cost about £12,500, it's an implantable device.
That's worth £12,500?
That's worth £12,500. It's a neuromodulation, so it kills. It's a pain stimulator, so it's a super TENS machine that's implantable.
It goes inside the body?
It's implantable within the body. What we want to be able to do to that is make sure, A, it's still in date. The shelf life of this product is less than 12 months from receipt in the hospital. So we need to ensure that we've got visibility of that from receipt in the hospital right the way through to the patient.
It's a bit like supermarkets, isn't it? The way supermarkets track what's coming and going out.
Supermarkets or motor manufacturers, when your car's recalled, they know exactly who's got the car, where it is and what part needs replacing. From this point of view, we've got the serial number, the lot number, the batch number, and we know the patient. So again, what we've managed to do is get the barcode on the patient as well. So we're also barcoding the patient and making that link using the NHS number, linking the patient all the way through the journey within the
Well, it's early stages, so that's the one on my risk here. Early stages, then trial stages, so we will find out in future just what advantages there are. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
You're welcome.
Good to see you here.
Thank you.